American explorer Victor Vescovo descended nearly 11 kilometers into the Mariana Trench, and this at its lowest point.
Dive into the Mariana Trench, the ocean's ultimate abyss. If sea monsters exist, this is where they're lurking. Believe us when we tell you, the things that live down there look freaky. The deep sea is a realm of bizarre and jaw-dropping creatures, many of which defy imagination. With countless secrets still waiting to be discovered, prepare for an adventure like no other. What they captured in Mariana Trench has shocked everyone, so let's dive down to the bottom of the ocean and find the craziest creatures that inhabit its darkness. USS Johnston. In 1944, the USS Johnston fought one of the fiercest battles in naval history, facing off against the world's largest battleship, Yamato. After being heavily damaged by the Yamato, the Johnston managed to keep fighting for another 2 hours before it sank. The ship went down with 186 of its 327 crew members. After that, it disappeared for over 75 years. This intense battle took place in the Leyte Gulf, part of the Philippine Sea, starting on October 23, 1944. It was the biggest naval battle in modern history. Over the next 3 days, more than 300 American warships fought against 70 Japanese vessels. The U.S. fleet had a staggering 1,500 aircraft, outnumbering the Japanese fleet 5-1. By the end of the fight, nearly 30 Japanese ships had been sunk, including many that were left too damaged to continue. The USS Johnston's wreck was discovered in one of the deepest parts of the ocean, near the island of Samar in the Philippines, close to the Philippine Trench. To get an idea of how deep it was, if you placed Mount Everest at the bottom, its peak would still be a mile below the surface. The wreck of the Johnston was found at a depth of 6 kilometers, making it the deepest shipwreck ever found. Amazingly, much of the ship was still intact, and the ship's number was visible after all those years. This discovery revealed new details about one of the most significant battles of World War II, and it gave closure to a story that had been hidden beneath the waves for decades. Biotwang. While the shipwreck rotting away at the bottom of the ocean definitely makes the Mariana Trench seem like a parallel world, several more unsettling phenomena add to its otherworldliness. For instance, a new study has finally uncovered the mystery behind the strange biotwang sounds heard deep in the Pacific Ocean near the Mariana Trench. Imagine hearing a spaceship engine whirring 10 kilometers underwater. Scary, right? First detected in 2014, these sounds puzzled scientists for years. The noises, which resemble the sounds of spaceships from sci-fi movies, are actually whale calls from Bride's whales, Balanoptera edeni. Researchers believe the whales might use these unique sounds to communicate and find each other, similar to how people play the game Marco Polo. The mysterious noises were initially discovered during an underwater survey of the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean. This trench stretches over 1,500 miles south of Japan and reaches depths of nearly 36,000 feet. The biotwang sound itself consists of 2 parts: a deep, rumbling tone followed by a high-pitched metallic sound, like something out of Star Trek or Star Wars. At first, scientists were unsure where these noises were coming from. In 2016, they suspected large baleen whales, such as blue or humpback whales, were responsible, but the sounds didn't match any known whale calls. However, the latest research, published in Frontiers in Marine Science, finally confirmed that Bride's whales were behind the sounds. Using artificial intelligence, AI tools, scientists sifted through over 200,000 hours of ocean recordings to trace the biotwang to the whales. Interestingly, the number of biotwang calls spiked in 2016 during an El Niño event, which led to more Bride's whales being in the area. While researchers think the calls may be used for communication, like a Marco Polo signal in the ocean, they are still investigating exactly why these calls sound so strange. Plastic bag pollution. Despite being the remotest spot on Earth, Mariana Trench is unfortunately not spared from the consequences of the global infiltration of plastics pollution. Back in 2019, an American explorer discovered plastic rubbish on the seafloor while breaking the world record for the deepest dive. Victor Vescovo plunged approximately 11 kilometers deep into the Pacific Ocean's Mariana Trench. He spent 4 hours investigating the bottom of the trench in his submersible, which was designed to endure the great pressure of the deep. He discovered unusual alien-like sea animals, but also a plastic bag and candy wrappers. According to a recent study, the plastic bag has become the deepest known piece of plastic rubbish. The bag, similar to those used in grocery store checkout lines, was found in the trench. Scientists identified its presence by searching the deep-sea debris database. These underwater photographs and videos were captured on 5,010 dives over the last 30 years. The collection suddenly became public. The Mariana Trench may appear to be a gloomy and lifeless abyss. However, it supports more life than most of us realize. In 2016, the NOAA-operated Okeanos Explorer vessel examined the region's depths. It discovered a vast range of living forms. They included deep-sea coral, jellyfish, and octopus. A recent research on plastic pollution discovered that 17% of the photographs of plastic contributed to the database depicted interactions with marine life. For example, several animals had gotten caught in the debris. A different study found that the Mariana Trench contains significant levels of total contamination. The scientists involved in the study developed a theory about the pollutants found there. They believe some of the chemicals may have come from the breakdown of plastics in ocean waters. The ocean undoubtedly contains far more plastic than a single bag in the Mariana Trench. However, this one piece of plastic is more than just a windblown metaphor for irresponsibility. It is now obvious how significant an impact humans are having on the Earth. Stoplight loosejaw. Now that we have established that humans have somehow managed to pollute the deepest, darkest, and practically off-limits part of the ocean too, let's take a look at the vibrant array of bizarre creatures that call this trench their home. First off is the stoplight loosejaw, a fascinating fish with a very unusual name. You might think the name sounds odd, but it actually comes from the special light-producing organs located beneath each of its eyes. One organ produces green light, while the other creates red light. These lights help the fish see better and hunt its prey in the deep, dark ocean. Living at depths of 1,700 to 13,000 feet, the stoplight loosejaw uses its lights to find food where very little light exists. The red light is especially useful because most other creatures in that part of the ocean cannot see it. For example, a red-colored crustacean would be easy for the stoplight loosejaw to spot, while the crustacean itself remains unaware of the light. These fish grow to about 1 foot, 30 centimeters, in length and feed on small fish and crustaceans. With its long, sharp teeth and flexible jaw, the stoplight loosejaw is built to catch even larger prey. Unlike some of its relatives, which move toward the surface at night, scientists believe the stoplight loosejaw stays deep in the ocean all the time. Since this fish lives so far down in the ocean, it is hard to study. Most of what we know about it comes from specimens caught in deep-sea nets. People don't eat stoplight loosejaws, and there's no evidence that human activities are harming their populations. However, the deep sea is a constantly changing environment, and scientists must keep studying it to learn more about this mysterious and important habitat. Snailfish. Scientists from Newcastle University made an exciting discovery in the Mariana Trench, one of the deepest places in the ocean. They found 3 new species of snailfish living in this mysterious underwater world. The trench is located along the Pacific coast of South America and is known for its extreme conditions. The researchers couldn't believe their luck when they spotted these tiny fish, each measuring less than 12 inches long. These snailfish are perfectly adapted to life in near-freezing water that's perpetually dark and under immense pressure. Instead of the usual scary deep-sea creatures with sharp teeth and bulging eyes, these little guys are small, pink, and look almost like jelly. They have transparent bodies and only a few bones in their inner ears to help them navigate. The discovery was shocking, not just because of the fish's unusual appearance, but also because these snailfish thrive in an environment where most creatures would struggle to survive. Mackenzie Geringer, a researcher at the University of Washington, played a key role in the study. She was thrilled to find the deepest fish ever collected from the ocean floor. They don't look robust or strong, but they are incredibly successful, she said. Co-author Thomas Linley pointed out that these snailfish have adapted to live in deep trenches, where they are free from predators. With a funnel-shaped trench offering a feast of tiny crustaceans and shrimp, these little snailfish are the top predators down there. Geringer, who now studies shallower species off San Juan Island, still marvels at the success of these jelly-like creatures. While it seems like a harsh environment to us, the deep sea is home to amazing life that's just waiting to be discovered. Dumbo octopus. The Dumbo octopus isn't just one species, but a whole group of deep-sea octopuses, named after their fins that look like Dumbo the elephant's ears from Disney. These fascinating creatures live in the dark, cold waters as deep as 13,100 feet or more. There are at least 15 known species, and they all have webbed arms that make them look like underwater umbrellas when they swim. Now, things get interesting, and a little quirky, when it comes to their love lives. Finding a mate in the deep sea isn't easy, so they've got to get creative. Female Dumbo octopuses carry a variety of eggs, each at different stages of development. When they bump into a male, they're ready to collect sperm, even if they don't need it immediately. It's like stocking up for the future, just in case Mr. Right swims by again a few miles down the road. What's even cooler, these females can store the sperm for a long time and use it when conditions are perfect for making babies. When it's time, the female can match the sperm with the most developed eggs, ensuring the best chance for reproduction. That's some impressive planning. And where do they lay their eggs? On the seafloor, attaching them to rocks or other hard surfaces. Despite living in such harsh conditions, these octopuses have some pretty clever strategies to keep their species going. Hatchet fish. In the ocean, you can find some pretty strange fish, but few are as quirky as the hatchet fish. Imagine a tiny, shiny hatchet swimming around. Yep, that's this fish. With over 40 different species, hatchet fish all have long, skinny bodies that shimmer like metal. Even the biggest ones are only about 6 inches long. But don't let their delicate looks fool you. These little fish can handle some serious pressure, living nearly 5,000 feet deep in the ocean. One of the coolest things about hatchet fish is their bioluminescent glow. They can change how bright they shine based on the light from above. This clever trick helps them blend in with their surroundings, making it harder for predators to spot them. By glowing dimly, they create a sneaky camouflage that keeps them safe from hungry hunters lurking below. These fish belong to a family with a name that's nearly impossible to pronounce. There are about 45 species in this family, and they come in all sizes, from a tiny 1-inch to our friend, the 6-inch wonder. Like their deep-sea cousins, these fish use their glowing ability to confuse predators. They basically create a little light show to avoid becoming dinner. And did you know there are freshwater hatchet fish too? These are the ones that many people keep in their home aquariums. Not quite as exciting as the deep-sea version with a shape like a dangerous hatchet blade, but they're still pretty cool. Frilled sharks. Frilled sharks are like something out of a quirky science fiction movie. With a body that resembles an eel and a flat head that looks like it could belong to a dinosaur, these creatures are a true marvel of evolution. They have been around for nearly 80 million years, which means they've seen some serious changes in the ocean. These sharks get their name from 6 rows of frilly gills that run along their bodies, and they can grow up to 6 feet long. Impressive, right? But it's their teeth that really steal the show. Frilled sharks have over 20 rows of sharp, trident-shaped teeth ready to snap at anything that comes close. It's like having a built-in meat shredder. You can usually find frilled sharks lounging near the ocean floor, where they prefer waters deeper than 4,000 feet. Unfortunately, when people accidentally catch them and bring them to the surface, they often don't survive. This makes it tough for scientists to study their habits and life cycles. For a long time, folks thought frilled sharks swam like eels, gracefully gliding through the water. However, some researchers believe their odd internal organ arrangement might make that impossible. Instead, they think these sharks strike at their prey much like a snake on land, adding another layer of weirdness to their already unique persona. So, If you ever feel like you're having a strange day, just remember the frilled shark, swimming around in the depths of the ocean, looking like a prehistoric mashup, and doing its best to stay out of sight. Life is definitely more interesting with these bizarre creatures lurking beneath the waves. Fangtooth fish. The fangtooth fish is one of the ocean's most terrifying creatures. It has the biggest teeth in proportion to the body size of any fish, making it look like a creature straight out of a horror movie. With a mouth wide enough to swallow larger fish, this little monster grows to about 6 inches, 15 centimeters. Its massive jaws and sharp teeth help it catch prey that's way bigger than itself. Living in a dark part of the ocean known as the Twilight Zone, which is over 3,000 feet deep, the fangtooth has very limited eyesight. Instead of relying on vision, it hunts by sensing movement in the water. Imagine trying to find dinner in the dark. You'd need some serious skills. This creepy fish has an appearance that could scare off even the bravest swimmer. With a large head, monstrous teeth, and a look that screams, "I've been through some serious stuff," it's often described as a living corpse. Seriously, it looks like it's been brought back from the dead after a rough night out. While many fish have fancy colors and sleek bodies, the fangtooth is like the punk rock version of the ocean. It's so unsettling that you might find yourself questioning if the shark from Jaws is actually just a cute puppy in comparison. The pingpong tree sponge? Another bizarre creature found in Mariana Trench is the pingpong tree sponge. This strange, alien-like sponge is not your average sea plant. It's a carnivorous sponge that catches its prey using hook-covered ping-pong-shaped spheres. Imagine small crustaceans getting stuck to these spheres and then being absorbed and slowly eaten alive. It's a true nightmare fuel. The ping-pong tree sponge looks like a tree covered in ping-pong balls, hence its catchy name. While it might seem innocent at first, it's anything but friendly. The sponge can grow about 20 inches tall, with a long, thin stalk and bizarre globules at the top. These globules, resembling ping-pong balls, stick out in all directions, giving it a trippy appearance. But don't let the looks fool you. Each of these ping-pongs is covered in tiny hook-like extensions called spicules. Any unsuspecting tiny creature that dares to get too close will find itself trapped and slowly digested. The sponge doesn't rush its meal. It breaks down its prey molecule by molecule. Talk about a slow-motion horror show. So, next time you think of the ocean, picture not just creepy fish and spooky shipwrecks, but also this eerie tree sponge lurking in the deep. Megalodons. Even though megalodons have been gone for millions of years, people still claim to see these giant sharks. But can we really believe them? Let's dive into some of these wild stories. In 1918, fishermen in New South Wales reported that a massive shark had stolen their nets. They insisted it was the infamous Meg. Fast forward to 1933, when a sea monster with a huge brown tail was supposedly spotted near French Polynesia. Then in 2018, an underwater video from the Mariana Trench showed what looked like a giant shark wandering the ocean floor. That's pretty creepy. The most recent sighting happened on May 27, 2021, when a 17-foot shark was seen circling a cruise ship full of terrified tourists in the Atlantic. Many people thought it resembled the prehistoric Megalodon. So, what's the verdict? Are any of these reports true? Scientifically, the answer is probably no, since the Megalodon is extinct. In another bizarre twist, a 50-foot shark was found a mile deep in the Mariana Trench. At first, people thought it was a Pacific sleeper shark, which usually only grows to 20 feet. But this one was clearly bigger, with a length estimated using a 10-foot wide cage. So, could it be a megalodon? Who knows? The ocean is full of mysteries. Black Sea Devil. The Black Sea Devil, also known as Melanocetus johnsoni, is a truly fascinating creature found in the Mariana Trench. Imagine a fish that lives a mile deep in the ocean. Talk about a deep-sea hide-and-seek champion. This little anglerfish hangs out in the Pacific Ocean, swimming at depths between 1,400 and 4,000 meters. One of the coolest things about the Black Sea Devil is its glowing lure. which dangles from its head. It uses this bioluminescent lure to attract its dinner in the pitch-black depths. Think of it as the ocean's version of a flashy neon sign saying, "Come and get it." Despite looking like something out of a sci-fi movie, the black sea devil is relatively small, usually growing to about 30 centimeters long. However, don't let its size fool you. This fish has a giant head filled with sharp, fang-like teeth that would give anyone nightmares. Some even sport spines to up the creepy factor. I guess they felt they weren't scary enough already. In 2014, researchers at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute caught footage of a live black sea devil for the first time. While it might not be winning any beauty contests, its unique features make it a hit among marine biologists and ocean lovers alike. These anglerfish are expert hunters, boasting enormous mouths that can stretch wide enough to gobble up prey twice their size. Barrel-eye fish. Deep in the Mariana Trench, where sunlight is just a myth, lives the fascinating barrel-eye fish, known scientifically as Macropinna microstoma. This fish has a transparent head that acts like a sunroof, giving it a unique view of its dark surroundings. But wait, those aren't the eyes you'd expect. Instead of the usual eyeballs, barrel eyes boast bright green orbs that sit a bit further back in their heads. The two circles at the front? They are not eyes at all. They are super-sensitive organs that can sniff out chemicals in the water. It's like having a built-in GPS for dinner. Discovered in 1939, the barrel-eye's tubular eyes were once thought to be fixed in place, giving it a tunnel vision perspective of the world above. However, recent research by Bruce Robison and Kim Reisenbichler revealed something surprising. These eyes can actually rotate. This means the barrel eye can look up to check out potential snacks or focus on its next meal. Talk about being well-rounded. Living in the pitch-black depths of the ocean, deep-sea fish like the barrel eye have developed amazing adaptations. They can spot the faint outlines of prey swimming above thanks to their ultra-sensitive eyes. In fact, these eyes are so good at detecting shapes that barrel eyes sometimes snag their meals right from the tentacles of siphonophores. Who knew they could be such sneaky snack thieves? Once thought to always gaze upwards, barrel eyes can actually roll their eyes forward when munching on something tasty. Vampire squid. The vampire squid, scientifically known as Vampiroteuthis infernalis, is a fascinating creature that lives in the darkest depths of the ocean. This unique cephalopod resides in the Hadal zone of the Mariana Trench, which is the deepest part of the sea, reaching depths of about 6,900 meters. It is one of the few species that can survive in such extreme conditions. What makes the vampire squid truly special are its amazing adaptations. It has large eyes that help it see in the dark, and it can turn its body into a cloak of arms for effective camouflage. This ability allows it to blend in with its surroundings, making it a master of disguise in the deep, pressurized waters of the trench. The history of the vampire squid is also intriguing. When it was first discovered in 1903, scientists thought it was a type of cirrate octopus, similar to the flapjack octopus. This was because it has webbing between its arms and a pair of fins on its mantle. However, in the 1940s and 50s, scientists realized that it was neither an octopus nor a squid. They placed it in its own unique group due to its distinct features. The vampire squid has several adaptations that help it thrive in the harsh environment of the deep sea. Its ability to survive in extreme darkness and pressure showcases the incredible diversity of life in our oceans. The vampire squid remains a mysterious and captivating part of marine biology, inspiring curiosity and wonder about the life hidden in the depths of the sea. Stalked Keno. The stalked Keno, a fascinating marine creature, is part of a group known as crinoids. These unique animals have a distinct way of life. They remain attached to the seafloor by a stalk, resembling plants rather than typical animals. Often referred to as sea lilies, these creatures can be found in various ocean environments. Stalked Krenos use their stalks to anchor themselves firmly to the seabed, allowing them to thrive in their habitats. This anchoring is crucial for feeding, as it keeps them stable in changing currents. The base of their stalks connects to a structure called the calyx, which serves as the foundation for their feeding system. From the calyx, they extend specialized arms that capture tiny food particles suspended in the water. These arms have grooves that help collect the food, which is then directed toward their mouths for consumption. Fossils of stalked Krenos have been discovered in many places, revealing that these creatures have existed for hundreds of millions of years. Some fossils date back as far as 480 million years, indicating their long history in the oceans. These ancient crinoids showcase how they have adapted over time, allowing them to survive various environmental changes. While most modern crinoids are free-floating, stalked Krenos remain firmly attached to the seafloor throughout their lives. They may have a stem during their juvenile stage, but as they mature, they become entirely dependent on their stalks. This unique life cycle helps them withstand strong currents and maintain their feeding routines. Stalked Krenos can also exhibit fascinating movement. Although they are primarily stationary, they can sway gently with the ocean currents. This gentle movement allows them to catch more food as particles drift by. Some species have even been observed moving to new locations, using their stalks and arms to navigate the seafloor. Their unique features and ancient lineage continue to capture the interest of scientists and enthusiasts alike. New virus. Last but not least, scientists have actually discovered a microscopic creature in the depths of the Mariana Trench that has left them truly baffled. While expectedly they have discovered several unique creatures that are quite small, owing to the conditions of their habitat, they had no idea even smaller life forms were thriving in this dark abyss. Recently, in 2023, it was revealed that a team of scientists discovered what could be the deepest known virus in the Earth's waters. They identified a novel virus in silt from the Mariana Trench, which is 8,900 meters deep in the Pacific Ocean. To the best of our knowledge, this is the deepest known isolated phage in the global ocean, marine virologist Min Wang stated. Last Monday, the researchers from Ocean University of China published their findings in the journal Microbiology Spectrum. The newly discovered deep-sea virus, designated VBHMEYH4907, is a bacteriophage, which means it infects and replicates inside bacteria. The genomic analysis of the virus suggests it is similar to its bacterial host and is prevalent in the ocean. The researchers say that the new bacteriophage is from a new viral family called Cerveridae. The virus was discovered in the ocean's Hadal zone, which ranges in depth from 6,000 to 11,000 meters and is named after Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. Recent research has revealed the enormous diversity, novelty, and ecological significance of Hadal viruses. However, only 2 strains of Hadal viruses have been isolated, the researchers said in the study. They stated that the discovery of this novel bacteriophage advances our understanding of how viruses in this region of the ocean operate in severe conditions, including through coevolution with bacterial hosts. The Hadal zone is home to various unusual species that can withstand the harsh circumstances of low temperatures, high pressure, and a lack of light in the deep sea. According to the marine virologists, they are now exploring for novel viruses in remote regions. Extreme environments offer optimal prospects for unearthing novel viruses, Wang told reporters. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more.